Dr. Tanya Hummel of Kent University conducted research on chimpanzees in Bossou, Guinea, 1995. The research focused on the interactions between the local people and the chimpanzees living in close proximity and the daily conflict they faced in their ways of life. The project aimed to harmonize the coexistence of chimpanzees and the people in the area. We asked Dr. Tanya Hummel about the relationship between anthropology and conservation within this research.
Anthropology has an evolutionary perspective, has a contemporary perspective. It can be about humans within the environment. Conservation, in the strictest sense, and has traditionally focused on excluding animals from the human landscape. The first challenge is language. Different disciplines use different languages, and if you don't necessarily are able to have a common language, it's sometimes difficult to talk to each other. Strict conservation biologists tend to be more quantitative, less qualitative, and tend to have less respect for qualitative data. Because we were present, the chimps were more confident, which meant that we were actually impacting chimpanzee behavior. But the problem is that humans are the biggest threat to other animals. Young chimps die from disease. It's made me reflect on really the severity and the risks of disease transmission between humans and chimpanzees, and that we need to be more concerned about it, manage it more carefully. Conservation has always been very much focused on wildlife, looking at non-human animals, although now it's changed, fortunately, and this is where you get the merging between anthropology and conservation going on. Political ecology, how the political system and governance influences also has consequences on the ability to conserve. They could be human-human conflict in achieving conservation objectives when, for example, in a national park people have been excluded, therefore very much against national park authorities. It might actually then kill wildlife, not because they needed it, but because as a sign of revolt. I think it's important to take the time and better understand and not judge too quickly people's actions or motivations. It's conservation that have excluded humans. So anthropology is helping conservationists acknowledge the role and crux of humans in that whole system.
That's a good question.
So you need everyone to talk to each other, basically.
Communication is very important. I think it's only a problem if we don't both recognise that each other is important and that we're all just a part of the wider whole of the world.
We need to acknowledge that humans are animals and they're part of that landscape.
By encouraging anthropology and conservation to interact, it will perpetuate the notion that humans are merely part of a bigger picture, which is nature itself.